Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Money Moves Live with John C. and Wendy Lee, getting ready for the Christmas holiday and the Christmas hangover. Welcome, Wendy.
Hello. What's up?
There you go. Good deal. Well, we're going to get started in 30 seconds, but reach out to your friends, let them know. We're going to be talking about the holiday hangover. What the heck is it and how to avoid it? And if you went ahead and did it anyway, how to get over it quickly. So we'll get started in just a second. I feel like we should have had the Run DMC song playing during that little.
I know. I feel like we need a new 30-second intro with some better music.
We do. All right. New Year's resolution right there. We're going to make it happen. So
let's do it.
Good stuff.
I actually put it on our list.
Good deal. Always trying to improve the show. I love it. So welcome, everybody. We're going to get started here and talking about the holiday hangover. I don't know. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. Wendy, have you ever had a holiday hangover? Not New Year's, Christmas.
Yes, absolutely. Not this year though. Doing things different.
Okay. Well, what are we talking about when we talk about the holiday hangover?
Spending way too much money and paying for it later.
Yes, everybody.
Not talking about alcohol.
I know, right? Exactly. That's not fun, but that's a New Year's show we're gonna do. But okay. No, for the Christmas hangover, everybody gets so excited at the time of year, and you haven't seen family, especially with COVID and all that stuff that's going on, right? You get to a point where you want to give and you want to be happy, and it's so flipping easy when you just slide that card, right? No big deal. $20 a month or whatever the case may be, right? Is what you're thinking. So
and I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten a lot of credit card offers in the mail the last couple of months.
Because they want you spending. Hey, banks need to make money too, right?
Yeah.
Not off of you. So, that's really kind of what we're talking about, and ways to avoid the holiday hangover. I don't know, I can recall a few Christmases ago, especially when my kids were younger, and I've only got 3, but, you go out and you buy the gifts, and you want that special gift, and then the grandparents are buying stuff, and a lot of money gets spent, number one, because you don't really budget for it, right? You kind of buy in the moment, you see something, you see some marketing ad, you see some advertising ad. I almost went out and bought a Chevrolet car this past week. Have you seen that commercial that they come out with for Christmas?
I don't watch TV. No, I haven't.
Well, I wasn't on TV. I saw it on, I don't know, it was an article on it or something like that. They got this 4-minute commercial. It literally had me in tears by the end of it. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's sad. I'm a softie, guys. Don't let that hard exterior, I got a caramel in the center. So anyway, it was one of those that's what this whole season is about. Just marketing, buy this, buy that, buy the other. And you end up spending way too much money for Christmas gifts. And let's be honest. I mean, I don't know about your kids, Wendy. My kids were more interested in the boxes they came in.
Yeah. No, I grew up where my mom, my parents literally we had 100 gifts under the tree at one point. It was ridiculous. But my mom bought all these little knick-knack things, and we just accumulated a bunch of junk, right? It's funny because I watched back an old home video of us opening gifts, and I'm like, I was a miserable little brat. I would open every gift and be like, right? I didn't want anything. And then I finally get to the last one they let me open, which is the thing I actually wanted. And I was so happy, right? But it's like, why do we feel the need to have all these things, right?
Yep.
But I feel like there's a shift. I don't know. Maybe it's just me shifting, but I feel like other people are shifting too, that we're tired of accumulating things. I don't know if 2020 changed that for people, but I grew up with all the stuff, all the gifts. And when my kids were little, exactly like you said, you'd get them this really expensive, great toy, and they're making a playhouse out of the box. And that's what the fun part is, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a good time to reevaluate what's important.
Well, and I think you're onto something. I've referred to 2020 as the Great Awakening, if you will. And you see it with people's jobs. in their careers, and just what's important versus what's not. And I think you're right. I think there's a large portion to it. However, you still see a lot of the craziness. I mean, the Black Friday lines and people going nuts, and the smash and grabs that are going on now. I don't know if that's a new discount program. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But you look at what's going on, and that's the part of it, right? You look at, what do you really want for Christmas? Right. And the Christmas memories I have are the time spent together with my family, right? I can still remember to this day, like it was yesterday, when I was in the 6th grade, my mom had this beautiful, beautiful Christmas tree, and it was covered in the icicles, back in the day and stuff like that. And I got the one gift that I really wanted, which was the Death Star. Again, I was young. And it was still to this day, that was probably my best Christmas ever. But I received a bunch of gifts, before and after that. And I can remember a few of them. Right. But what I remember more than anything are the personal items, the gifts my kids made for me, or the time spent with loved ones, especially loved ones that aren't here anymore. Those are the things that I cherish. And most of that costs little or nothing.
Yeah.
And so, when you focus on what is important, that's mostly, it's free. It's just your time, right? Yeah. That's what your kids want and things like that. Not that they don't want gifts too, but it's all about the priority and setting that precedent on what's important. But, it's cheap versus meaningful, or just a gift versus meaningful, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just barking up a tree here, but that's the way I feel.
I think you're right. And we're doing things different this year. So we're taking a trip to Florida. We traveled for 9 weeks in 2021, or the beginning of this year, as a family. And for us, like with my kids, like I want them to experience things, right? Rather than have stuff. Right. Yeah. And I made the mistake with my older kids. They got the video gaming systems and the phone and all these things that just literally took time away from reality. Yeah. Whereas, now we're like, what kind of experiences and memories can we create for them that they're going to remember forever? Right. Yep. Like your Death Star, right? Like what are those experiences that they're never going to forget? And so this year, my kids get one gift. That's it. One.
That's awesome.
And we're going to Florida, and we got a house with a pool and a dock because my kids love to fish, so they can fish right off of it, right? And so it's more about making memories. And one gift that we did last year that was the biggest hit, probably the most boring to open, but we spent the most time together, was a puzzle, a 2,000-piece puzzle, right? And everyone's like, a puzzle, well, right? But guess what we were doing for like hours is all gathered around the dining room table, laughing, eating, putting together the puzzle. So it was fun.
And that's a great idea. I mean, we do the exact same thing every Christmas. When people come around, we always have a puzzle set out. Personal opinion, 2000's insanity. I stop at 1,000 because eventually I want to be able to tap out of that mojo, right? It's like, okay, hey.
Or you could be like my one kid who only comes in for the last 30 pieces.
Oh, there you go. The closer. He's a closer. So there you go. He's a closer. But it's one of those things that, it's important if you want to give and show. And a lot of people, though, unfortunately, they feel guilty because they don't spend the time, or they feel guilty of not being around. Or they have a low esteem of themselves or the relationship or whatever. So they try to solve it with gifts. And I'm here to tell you, it's not the gifts. The gifts are nice. Don't get me wrong, especially if that's your love language or something like that. But it's really that time. That's what they want, is that time spent, that quality time around the puzzle table or on the road trips, right? Or things like that. And, there may be a cost to it or whatnot, but you can minimize that and really have impact, right? Versus just spending money, you have an impact on it. So that's kind of the key. But as far as avoiding, hopefully that helps you kind of avoid some of that hangover. Man, I can't believe I just dropped $3,000 on crap, and by February, March, they're done playing with it. Yeah. But if you've already kind of crossed that bridge, because it is December 21st, right?
Hopefully your Christmas shopping's almost done.
So I'm starting. A friend of mine told me once, it only takes a minute if you start at the last minute.
There you go.
So I'm actually doing mine today and tomorrow, but you look at that and it's like, okay, you've already crossed that bridge. What do I do, or how do I limit the fact that now I've got all this debt and exposure, and now I'm going to wake up in January and I get that bill and it's like, oh crap. Mm-hmm. All those plans I had for January, as far as saving money and stuff, are going to have to be put on hold for a little bit because I've got a $2,000, $3,000 credit card bill. Right. What are your thoughts on that?
Get it paid off quick. Don't let it linger.
Yeah.
I think I told somebody this the other day, which this doesn't have anything to do with gifts necessarily for Christmas, but my dad, I threw him a 50th surprise party, and he's going to be 65 this year. So it's been 15 years, but I loved giving that experience and doing that for him. But I went above and beyond, and I put it on a credit card and I really couldn't afford it. And it took me years to pay off that stupid credit card. And I'm like, man, I remember he was turning 60 and I finally paid it off.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Right. And now I would never do that. Right. Because I realized in the long run, how much I paid for that stinking party was way more because I took so long to pay it off. So I would say be really intentional in January and cut back, do a spending freeze or do something, cut back and throw as much as you can at the debt that you created. To get out of it as quick as possible, so you pay the least amount for it.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. I mean, looking at it, and don't try to do it all in January. If it's a big number, especially depending on what your budget is and things like that, break it down into 90 days, 60 days, 90 days at most, right? If you can. If not, break it into 4 months or whatever the case. But that way, you've got a plan in place, and what happens is you'll feel more empowered about taking it. It's like any debt, right? And if you're paying extra on your debt, watch our snowball video. What you do not want to do is if you've got multiple credit cards, paying extra on all of them at the same time. That is not the way to do it. I like my little Christmas hat here. That is not the way to do it, right? What you want to do is pay minimums, start with the smallest balance, pay all the extra on the one card, and then roll that into the next one, right? But with your Christmas debt, that's a good way to help kind of pay that off and feel as though, okay, yeah, I made a mistake, or maybe not a mistake, but I kind of overspent, right? Like it sounds like you had the flying Elvises coming in at your dad's birthday party. So maybe you went a little over the top on Christmas. But you don't have to feel like, okay, I'm a horrible person. I did, you made a decision based on the information you had. It's in the rearview mirror, let it go, but let's fix it. Right. So how do you do that? Like Wendy said, have a spending freeze. Not going out this month. I mean, let's be honest. January is cold anyway. Nobody wants to be out in the cold weather. So have a spending freeze. Maybe go out as less, a little less. Stop eating out as much. Take that extra cash and apply it to that, and just know, hey, I want to be, I want to do something a little different next year.
Yeah.
So I remember. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and plan appropriately for the next year.
Exactly. So I remember back in the day, right? And I'm dating myself a little bit. There used to be this thing called the Christmas Club, right? All the banks did it. And I don't know that they do that anymore, but now they're all about just give me your money. We're going to give you a crappy rate of return. Whole nother story. But you look at the Christmas Club, you can do that yourself. Like, okay, hey, I want to set up my budget. We've talked about that. You should be doing a budget and setting aside a little bit for gifts, holidays, birthdays, things like that. In that way, you're not hit with this huge bill at the end of the year. You still use a credit card to get points or whatever, if that's what you're into, right? But have the discipline to take that money and pay it off. So if you're going to spend, $1,000 or, a couple $1,000, save $100, $200 a month starting in January and just kind of set it aside.
Yeah. I know you talk about every dollar of that app. And what I do love about that app is it'll roll it over. So you can say, like, I haven't spent my 200 in my gift bucket or wallet or whatever they call it. Each month it'll roll over and accumulate. So then at the end of the year, what's actually there for your budget to spend.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Well, and that's how you use this stuff, folks. I mean, it's all about, the different tools and stuff like that you have. But, again, that's what that's going to do is help you be proactive for next year.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to have that big credit card bill. And even if you've got a big bill coming in January and it's coming, don't wait until January to pay it. Pay it this month. Yeah. I know that, okay, I went Christmas shopping and I'm, racking it up at Kohl's or wherever, and, kind of doing this, that, or the other. And I know I spent $2,000 and I've got $500 this month for a bonus or something like that. Go ahead and apply it now. You don't have to wait. You know what your credit card address is, right? You know how to do an online payment.
I literally just did that.
Okay.
So not for Christmas, but I had an unexpected massive expense. And I had a credit card and I was like, I'm going to pay it off quick. Right. But I used it last week and today I had the money and I'm like, all right, I'm just paying it off. Done. And my bill's not due till, January 15th, but I know for me, like you got to know yourself, right? For me, if I let it hang there, I'd probably spend the money that I intend to put towards the credit card bill. So I just get to be done with it. So,
yeah, and that's one of the things too. And a lot of people, what if, I'm just going to pay a little bit rather than a lot, right? Because they think I need to hold that cash back, that safety feature. I'm going to tell you right now, you want to be out of debt, because once you get out of debt, then all of a sudden the savings portion comes so much easier and so much faster. But I use an kind of a mindset of 1, 2, 3, go, right? If I see something, just 1, 2, 3, go. Don't think about it. Don't overanalyze it. I want to pay off my bills. Ooh, maybe I should stretch it out over a few months or something like that. Nope. 1, 2, 3, go. Just do it. Bite the bullet, rip the Band-Aid off, and just make it, and learn that lesson. And what you'll find is you'll adapt and adjust. So, get a little early start on your debt, pay it off early. And then also look to, kind of minimize it for next year through the budgeting process. So I don't know. Anything else to add on that holiday cheer? No,
just create memories, have fun. Doesn't have to cost money. I do want to say too, like, don't think that I talked to one of my clients the other day, and she was stressed about her spending at Christmas. And I'm like, well, she's married with no kids. I'm like, well, who are you spending all this money on? Right. And she has family members that literally give them lists of what they want. And that's where, like, if it's not in your budget, we have to be strong enough in who we are and have boundaries and not, right? Like, create those boundaries. We have some people in our family that always send a ton of stuff. I'm really not great with gift giving. It's not my love language. My parents were like, here's $100. Like, that was my life other than Christmas when I was really young. But like, they're just not super thoughtful in the gift department. And I struggle with that as well. But we have like family members that send us these great gifts. And I'm like, you don't have to spend that money on us, right? Like, my kids don't need all this stuff. Like, send a sweet little card or a video, not lessening what they give us, because I love that. I think it's wonderful and that's their heart. But don't let anyone make you feel pressure in your family. I think family is the one that does it, to spend a ton of money on your nieces, nephews, whatever, aunts, uncles, parents. Like, that's not, if it's not working for your budget, right? That's where we have to be strong enough in ourselves to say, nope, these are my boundaries. Like, love the list. Thank you. I actually had something already in mind that I was going to get you.
Well, and that's important, especially for those big extended families, because I know when my grandparents were around, we had the big family meetings, right? And you'd have literally, I can remember 40, 45 people in a room. You've got family members, cousins, extended cousins, things like that. In the first couple of years, we would literally buy gifts for everybody. You come in looking like freaking Santa Claus yourself, and you're buying them crap that's, okay, well, I got to buy this, I got to buy that. And you're going into debt and it's stressing you out. I mean, you have fun, but again, I don't remember any gifts from that stuff.
Right.
Other than something maybe my grandfather gave me, or, that was meaningful to me. And so what we ended up switching to, and this may be an idea for, not you, Winnie, but the audience, your family, is to do a Christmas exchange, right? You draw a Secret Santa kind of deal, right? Okay, so I've got one person, or we're drawing names. I know I got my cousin, another cousin got me, or whatever. So everybody has a gift to open. And if you really want to spice it up, do a Yankee swap or a white elephant exchange, right? Especially watch if you've got spiked eggnog, it could get a little dangerous. I'm just saying, especially when you're swapping out your toilet paper ring for like an iPod or something, or a phone or iPhone or whatever. But it gets, it can be fun and you can have fun with it. And that stuff creates the memories, play the game, stuff like that. But you don't have to go into debt to have an awesome Christmas, right? And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, like you said, I think there may be a change, because I know when I was out shopping this year, the couple times that I go, I hate shopping, but the couple times I've gone, it has not been as crazy as I've seen it in the past.
I agree. I actually went out on Black Friday, not even really thinking it was Black Friday. I just needed something. And I was like, wait, I shouldn't be going out today. It's Black Friday. Am I crazy? And then I got to the stores. I'm like, oh, I mean, it was busy, but not anything nuts. So I think there's definitely a change. And the supply chain. I mean, a lot of people can't get things. So
That's true. I don't know. I haven't really seen a whole lot of it yet, but I guess I haven't done the shopping yet, so we'll find out tomorrow, right? But it's one of those things that it's not about the gifts, folks. It's about the memories. And if you've got somebody that it's all about the gifts, maybe you need to exchange or whatever. I'm just saying. But it's one of those things that you want to make sure you're finding out what they really want. Get to know that person, on a personal level. Don't just buy them something. I hate giving gift cards, but I've got teenagers. What do they want? Gift cards.
Mhm.
So you can go out and do it. But it's one of those things, get to know the person and give something that means something to them. Put the thought into it. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. And I think that you'll have a much better Christmas and make those Christmas memories because, time's ticking, right? You never know how much time you have. And you want to cherish every moment. And this is a great time of year to kind of celebrate, not go into debt. So that's really all I've got, Wendy. I mean, I don't know if you've got some more to add to that or.
No, other than I love your Santa hat.
Thanks. I think I'm going to rock this year round. It'll come back in July.
Okay.
But, Christmas in July. It's all the Christmas in July sales. So we're going to talk about that, right? I'm just kidding. It's just kidding. But anyway, I want everybody out there, have a happy holiday, have a Merry Christmas, spend time with your family. Don't spend your money. And enjoy and realize what the real reason for this Christmas season is. And make those memories. So, Wendy, thanks for a great year. I think we got one more show for the 2021.
Yeah. Have we been doing this a whole year? When did we start?
It's been a minute.
Oh, we did it on a different platform, Clubhouse first.
Yep.
But I think Clubhouse we started in January.
Yeah, we started in Clubhouse in January. So it's been going on. So exciting for 2022, guys. We've got some great stuff planned. We're actually going to be switching to a podcast format as well. And kind of being out there on, Twitch, whatever it is, something like that, Stitch, Twitch, whatever. I don't know. She's the technical expert, but we're going to be talking about money and really kind of adding some value and bringing in a money club and a lot more free tools for you to use so you can step up your money game in 2022. I don't know about you, Winnie. I'm excited about 2022 and just kind of all the changes it's going to bring and kind of that leveling up in my own personal game and, my family, everything else is going to be just through the roof in 2022. So
I'm with you. My word for 2022 is invest. Relationships, finances, business, and I'm really excited.
And personal growth. Don't forget the personal growth too. So, all right, everybody, have a Merry Christmas. And Wendy, you have a Merry Christmas with you and your family. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. Bye-bye.